Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Ledwell and this is the Inspiration Show. Today on the show we're going to be talking about a law. Now you've heard of the law of attraction, which we talk a whole lot about here on the Inspiration Show, but have you heard of the law of emergence? Well, my special guest is going to be telling us all about that today, so please welcome Derek Rydall. How are you, Derek?
I'm great, Natalie. It's really an honor to be here.
It's always an honor, and also always great talking to you. We've had some amazing conversations over the last few years
hmm
about all kinds of things. So today we're going to talk about the law of emergence. So why don't we start first of all with your story and your background and how you got into teaching, what it is that you do.
Well, like a lot of people, I was, I struggled for many years to improve my life and to, heal my broken childhood, broken heart, to attract and achieve and improve. And after over a decade of that and deep therapy, to improve myself and my life, the only thing I improved was my ability to very eloquently articulate why I was so messed up. So I was in a worse case after a decade of self-improvement, and it literally drove me to become addicted to drugs and alcohol and almost died of an overdose. And that was my first near-death experience. And then I had a second one where I almost drowned. And in this experience of nearly drowning, without going into all the details, it's a pretty known story out there, but I had a moment of profound surrender. I really knew I was going to drown. There was no sense of like, maybe I'll get out of this, maybe I won't. I really believed on every fiber of my body that this was the end. And it opened up a level of surrender that was not, it was not a bargaining chip. I'd already tried that. It wasn't like, please get me out of this, universe and I'll go to church on Sunday. It was a true moment of letting go. And in that moment, something cracked open in me. And I like to say Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. And I had a glimpse of something that I really didn't have the words for at the time, but I ended up pulling out of society. I almost became a monk, and instead decided to cloister myself in my apartment and go on this inner journey. And what I discovered was that there was this true self, for lack of a better word, that had never been damaged. And so it didn't need to be healed or fixed. And it was already perfect and complete, so it couldn't be improved upon. And I saw that most of my efforts to fix and change and heal and attract and improve were actually a form of resistance to the very natural wholeness that was trying to emerge in me. And I likened it to an analogy of the acorn. And really any seed will do, but the oak tree is already in the acorn. And the acorn doesn't have to go out and attract an oak or achieve an oak or become worthy of an oak. And the acorn isn't a broken or inadequate oak. It's a perfect acorn. And when it surrenders to the soil and the conditions in the soil become a match for that seed pattern already in it, the oak naturally emerges. Its destiny, its potential naturally emerges. And I saw that that was that principle, which I then coined the law of emergence, is the same thing for all of us. That there is a perfect pattern of infinite potential within all of us, and also within every area of our life or every project. Behind every sincere desire or impulse, there is a perfect pattern trying to emerge. And most of our efforts to get it or make it happen actually create resistance to it. And when you instead understand you've already got it, and you understand how to become aligned with it to create, for lack of a better word, the conditions in the soil of your soul, then that potential naturally emerges in your life. And when I got that shift, it radically changed my whole paradigm for life. And I went from being broke and living off of 19-cent boxes of macaroni and cheese in a one-room apartment and literally suicidal to a global business, million-dollar homes, world travel, just all the things I've been struggling to get began to emerge in my life.
Right. So the law of emergence, you're talking about the emergence of who we really are, emergence of our soul, or emergence of a certain pattern or system or formula to be able to get into contact with that, or to get back connected with that.
Yeah, well, the law of emergence is a principle, and as I stated, it's the basic principle is that you've already got it all within you. Like the oak is already in the acorn. There's a perfect pattern for your life. And when you become aligned with it, when you become congruent with it, when I'm using the analogy of nature like the soil, when the soil of your own being, your own life becomes a match for that seed pattern in you, it naturally unfolds in your life. It naturally emerges. And there's a pattern for your whole life in general, and there's also a pattern for different areas of your life. There's a pattern for your body, a pattern for your wealth, a pattern for your work, a pattern for your relationships. These are different seed patterns, and they're all part of the grand pattern that is your life. And you could also call it your purpose, what I call your soul purpose blueprint. It's already in you, and when you recognize what that is, and there's clues all around you to what it really is, and you become congruent with it or aligned with it or cultivate the right conditions that match it, just like in the soil, you have to cultivate the right conditions for the particular seed, then it naturally unfolds and emerges in your life without a lot of the struggle and the challenges and a lot of the negative byproducts when you are thinking you don't have something and you go out and try to make it happen. With the law of emergence, you recognize you've already got it and you make it welcome. And right. and when you use the other strategies without knowing that you've already got it, that you already are it, it's just you need to become a match to it, you might even willfully manifest your way into a bigger paycheck, but you often end up being broke just at a higher income bracket. Or you manifest a bigger house, but you feel even less at home. Or you manifest a new relationship and you end up in the same arguments, or a new job and somehow you end up with the same jerky boss just wearing a different costume. And that's why so many people, the average person doesn't really live 60 to 90 years. They live the same year 60 to 90 times because they keep recreating the same self-concept and the same false self-concept, and the law of emergence really radically shifts that.
Okay, so I mean, I completely agree with you, because I know that when I'm in flow, and that when I am feeling like I'm connected, that's when my most amazing work comes out.
Yes.
So how do people get aligned or coherent or, in alignment with this, this inner part of them?
Yes. Well, the first good news is that unlike a seed, which is indigenous, meaning that its ability to thrive is dependent on its external environment, being planted in the right external weather conditions, we are endogenous, which means that we carry our weather system with us. The soil is within us, the light is within us, the nutrients are all within us, ready to be activated. So no matter where you've come from, no matter where you currently are planted, no matter what side of the tracks you were planted on, when you understand this, you can bring that forth into your life no matter what the conditions, the economy, your parents, your education, none of that has any power whatsoever over you. So that's one of the great things for us. But the first thing is you have to begin to identify what is trying to emerge, because there is always something that's trying to emerge in you, and there's clues all around you. And one of the most obvious clues, of course, is your deep desire. Because from the emergence model, desire actually means of the sire, or of the father, or the creative principle. Or another definition is from the heavens, or from the stars. So that burning desire is not a sign of something outside of you that you need to go get. It's a sign of something inside of you that's trying to get out. You're literally pregnant with the next stage of your own evolution or emergence. And I'm not necessarily talking about those fleeting desires like I want a big screen TV, though it might represent something true. Unfortunately, most people have a bigger TV screen than they do have a vision for their life, but that's another topic. But there's something that's trying to emerge in you, and your burning desires are a clue. Then the next stage is, and again, there's clues all around you. People that you really, really admire, or you just think, oh my God, they're so amazing. That's actually a projection of your own unintegrated potential. And so that's another clue of who you are. So, and I walk people through this in the work, how to identify what are the clues that are telling you what's actually already in you that's trying to emerge. And again, it can be in your life in general, or it can be in any area of your life. Then the next stage is cultivating the congruent conditions, or becoming a match for that. And you've already stated one of the most important first things to becoming a match is getting into that flow state, which is really just means it's a state of connection. It's that, and in that connection, there's a feeling tone. There's like a feeling tone of I have. There's a feeling tone of I'm able. There's a feeling tone of I can. Even if you're not intellectually thinking it, in that connected flow state, it has a quality to it, a feeling tone to it. And that feeling tone of I have, I am, I can, is actually a congruency to who you already are, even if you don't know what the thing is. So you touched upon a very, very core, element that you have to cultivate. The statement of I have. That's why in the Bible it says, to he who has, more shall be given, but to he who has not, even that which he has will be taken away. So it's the state of I have consciousness is one of the first foundational qualities to begin to cultivate. Because what happens is so many people, they have a desire, they want more wealth, more health, more whatever. They want to build their business, more clients. But they from a state of not having, because they're judging by their current circumstances or appearances, they try to go out and make it happen. And the problem is that is a wrong state of congruence. You're out of integrity with who you really are and what's already true about you. And there's a metaphysical statement, to he or she who is right in mind, they can do all the wrong things, but it will still turn out right. To he or she who is wrong in mind, they can do all the right things, but it will still turn out wrong. So if you go out there to try to get more money, get more whatever, but from a state of I don't have, it's not happening, something's missing, something's lacking, something's broken, and now you try to solve it, you cannot solve that problem because you're at the level of the problem. So the first and most important thing is that you get into that state of I have. And I also want to say, it's not like some metaphysical trick. It's not like you're trying to use that to attract it to you, because that's also where people fall off. It's actually the truth. You actually do already have it. You actually do have everything you need to create the life of your dreams. It's there vibrationally. It's there energetically. It's really there for real. And another analogy I use is like radio. Right now where you are, your favorite music is broadcasting. You can't hear it, you can't experience it unless you tune the dial of your radio to the frequency where that music is playing. And the minute your frequency matches the frequency where the music is playing, that music manifests. You have found your manifest station, as I like to say. So, but the music was always playing. It wasn't in your future, it wasn't in the distance. It was playing right where you are, but it's on a frequency or a station that you're not tuned into. So you don't make the music happen, you make it welcome. And so the same thing is true with emergence, that the music of your heart, the symphony of success, the beat of abundance, it's already playing right where you are. And so much of our strategies of thinking and feeling and doing to get the things we want are actually tuning us away from station K-R-I-C-H, K-Rich, and tuning us into K-Lack, K-L-A-C-K. And we think we're doing all these great things to get what we want, but we're actually tuning ourselves out of tune with the station where our music is really playing. So tuning into that station is the most important thing. And the first step is developing that consciousness of I already have it. It's already happening, as you would call the flow state.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know that you mentioned before that everyone seems to have like the same year over and over again, and obviously we're in a new year, which I think 2015 is going to be a huge year for a lot of us. Mm-hmm. But if there was maybe one practice that someone could start doing on a daily basis that's going to help them become congruent, what is something that you could give them to do that they could start in 2015?
Well, one of the most important things is to surround yourself inside and out with the people, places, things, and activities that represent your future, that represent where you want to be, not where you've been. And I just got chills now saying that, so I know that's going to be a really important thing for people to get. See, right now, for most of us, our strategies and our environment, both our inner environment and our outer environment, the relationships we're in, the conversations we have, they are a reaction to our need for self-preservation, security, comfort, protection. And they represent the past. They represent what we don't want, actually. And that's how we've developed our daily strategy and our environments for a lot of people. And what we need to begin to do is design an inner and outer strategy. What I call it the LIFT practice, which stands for living in the feeling tone of your great vision. So you begin to ask, what is my highest vision for 2015? What is it that if I could truly have the life of my dreams, not the life I think is possible, but the life that's truly calling, that burning desire, which is a clue that you've already got it, and that it's kicking, the baby's kicking. And then ask, if I was living that dream, if I was living that at the end of 2015, how would I feel? And who would I be? And as you tap into that, and this is where things like visualization are a very valuable tool, because they help you activate the feeling tone that's already in you. And you get a sense of some of the feelings. So maybe you'll feel more peaceful, more joyful, more abundant. And then you ask, and who would I be? And you'll get qualities that are more active, like I would be more generous, more spontaneous, more playful, as an example. Then you take the feeling qualities and you ask, what people, places, activities, or objects activate that feeling tone for me? So let's say it's joy. And you want to identify, what are some people that when I spend time with them, whether it's on a video like this or in a book or in person, it activates that quality of joy in me. Or some activities like when I walk in the nature, or when I dance, or when I sing, or when I exercise, it activates joy in me. So you begin to find those people, places, and activities, and sometimes it might all be one. It might be hanging out with a person, walking, doing a thing in a certain place, and you combine it all, and it's just an incredible experience. And you'll notice these are things that either you don't think you have time to do anymore, or you haven't made time to do them yet, or you used to do them, but over time you've stopped doing them, or being with these people, or having these things in your environment. So then you start to strategically engineer those back into your environment for those qualities. Then you look at, and you might also have to look at, what are some people, places, and things you have to strategically engineer out of your environment that represent the past, that represent conversations and activities that are not in integrity with where you really want to be. And then you look at the qualities of being, like spontaneous, playful, and you ask, what would it look like to step into being more of this quality now? Most people are waiting for conditions to change before they show up and be what's really in them. And life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. Whatever you're waiting for, you're actually waiting with, and you're weighing it down. And whatever's missing is what you're not giving. So you have to begin to show up and generate the qualities of being and the energy that you would have if you were living your dream, but you have to do it now. You have to grow right where you're planted, right now. So look at those qualities of being, and then you begin to engineer that into your daily environment, into your daily strategy, into your way of life. And that begins to tune your dial to the frequency where your music is playing. And just like on different stations, there's different information being broadcast. As your frequency gets tuned out of KLAC into K-Rich, or out of Killjoy into K-Joy, whatever the station may be, all of a sudden you are receptive to a whole new level of information that's always being broadcast, and a whole new level of people that are always tuned into that station that you didn't have access to before. Suddenly you have insights, inspirations, you're guided, you have compelling right action, you meet the right people. Why? Because you're now vibrating on the level where all of that has always existed. It's not like you didn't make it happen. You became, the dreams don't come true, we become true to them. We become visible to them. So this is a simple but very powerful strategy that will make you a vibrational match to what's already in you, to the music that's already trying to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Derek, we could talk all day, but we have run out of time.
Yeah.
And you obviously are so in this message. You live it, you embody it. And I know that you have a book coming out and about the Law of Emergence. So where can we send everyone to find out about the book and connect with you if they want to work with you? Where can we do that?
Yeah, I think you have a link there that will send people to that. Obviously, they can get the book just going to Amazon, and then if they go through your link, they'll get the book and they'll get a bunch of bonuses. But more importantly, they're going to get a very powerful in-depth emergence video training series that I created brand new to walk you step by step through many of the things we've talked about today, and to really help you to not create the same year over and over, but to really create a new year and a new you, and to look back at the end of this year and say, that was a conversation, that was a moment of true inspiration that turned everything around. So I've really created an in-depth video training that if you walk through it and practice it and apply it, you really will have a totally new year. It will take you to a whole new level.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Derek. Now, guys, if you're watching this video online, you can click on the banner to the side to go through to Derek's site. Or if you're watching it on the app, you can just click the banner below. Now, I encourage you to share this video. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. Also, leave your email if you haven't done so already, so that we can send you the Manifesting with the Masters video e-course. It's actually valued at $87, and I would love to send it to you for free. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.
Take care.